What's going on, Flex On family? It's your boy, God's favorite host, the host with the moist back here on the YouTube, the Flex On podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. And I'm back again with another video here, breaking down those Baltimore Ravens position previews. As now we take a look at the tight end group, another group full of depth, and a position group that the Ravens love to use in their offensive scheme under Greg Roman. You know the drill. Hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all notifications, and hit that like button, and let me know what you think about our tight end position group. And of course, follow us at the Flex On One and the Flex On Podcast on TikTok, the Flex On One on Twitter and Instagram. Of course, if you'd like to donate, hit that Cash App, the Flex On One. But let's get to it. We're gonna break down these tight end groups, and when you think about the tight ends and the Baltimore Ravens, probably outside of Lamar Jackson, their best offensive weapon is none other than your boy Mark Andrews, top 10 tight end. Don't at me. You want to throw other guys in there? We got Kelsey, we got Kittle. You want to throw in Darren Waller? I'm taking Andrews. He's more available. He stays healthier, and I think he just gives you better consistent production. You want to throw in whomever at the tight end position? I'm still taking Mark Andrews. You want to throw in Zach Ertz? Nope. I'm throwing in Mark Andrews. I think Mark Andrews is spectacular and amazing at what he does. Broke the record last year for Ravens receiving yardage. 107 catches, 1,361 yards, 12.7 yards per catch, 43 yards was the long, and 9 touchdowns. Mind you, this was with Lamar Jackson and Brent Hundley. Excuse me, not Brent Hundley, but having Lamar Jackson and his name is escaping me, Tyler Huntley. That's his name. I don't know why I said Brent Hundley, but yes, I think they did bring in Brent Hundley. Did the Ravens, but Tyler Huntley. So Mark Andrews played with Lamar. Of course, him and Lamar have that great rapport. Lamar looks to him first. Tyler Huntley comes in. Lamar doesn't fall off, breaks Michael Jackson's receiving yardage record. And Mark Jackson is a stalwart. I'm glad the Ravens did pay him last season because now he overplayed his contract. He's probably underpaid now when you look at the market and how guys are getting paid. And thank God the Ravens have Mark Andrews for the foreseeable future. And I think he's only going to continue to assert himself as one of the best tight ends in the game. I think he's an underrated blocker, something he's still getting better at. And a great red zone threat. And I think the Ravens are going to go as far as when it comes to receivers at the tight end position, where as far as Mark Andrews takes them. Now, he does need some help, and I'll get to that when we talk about the receivers coming up soon. But Mark Andrews needs help. Now, Nick Boyle last year was coming back from injury. To me, let me know in the comments, how did Nick Boyle look to you guys last season? Because he looked a shell of himself. He's still on the roster. We know he's an excellent blocker. We know he's an excellent leader in the locker room. They use a lot of two tight end sets through the Ravens, and I think they'll get more of the 2019 offense from the Baltimore Ravens, where they did run a lot of two tight end sets and a lot of two tight end sets for running plays, play action, passing plays as well, extra blockers, etc. Now, do I think that Boyle has a bounce back season? Of course. He only had one catch for 2 yards last year. So obviously he probably was not 100%. He probably was not his fuller self. He was not 100%. And no, Nick Boyle isn't going to blow you away with the receiving numbers, but he can be a viable option as a second tight end. And I do think he is somebody that the Ravens should look for to be a bounce back season. Now, could this be Nick Boyle's last season with the Baltimore Ravens when it comes to contracts? We know Lamar has to get paid and other guys in the future. I think that is definitely a possibility. But I do think Nick Boyle has to, no choice, give this team more than one catch for 2 yards. I think he's a full year plus removed from his injury. I think he's fully healthy. I think he is more than capable of being able to give this team something opposed from Andrews. He doesn't have to go out there and catch 5 to 7 passes a game. Hey, give us 1-2 catches a game that are meaningful on third down in the red zone on short yardage conversions. Something that we need because we know Lamar's going to look to Andrews. We know that he's going to look to Bateman. He's going to look to others. But having that safety valve as another tight end, Nick Boyle being on the field with his ability to block, so Lamar has the comfort knowing that Nick Boyle can block. But what will happen with Nick Boyle? Only one catch, 2 yards. But I think we expect a bigger year from Nick Boyle. Have to. Now, Charlie Kolar, 6'6" out of Iowa State, 4th round pick. I like Kolar. I think he has some upside in him. Maybe even some Mark Andrews-esque type playability in him. I think he is probably the better blocker out of the two that were drafted, and we'll talk about Isaiah Likely in a minute. But I think that Kolar has the ability to really make an impact on his team as well as a third tight end. He can make some plays, slide him out as a receiver, use him in the red zone, and use him in blocking situations. As I said, we'll see a lot of two tight end sets. So you will probably see Kolar and Likely throughout the season. Maybe not as much early on, but if Nick Boyle isn't what Nick Boyle is supposed to be, you could see these rookies thrust into an early role. Isaiah Likely was at Coastal Carolina. He got drafted, but he was in the getting drafted fourth round as well. So both of them were in the fourth round. We've seen a lot of teams do this in past memories, taking two tight ends in the same round. And I think that Likely is the more receiver type out of the two. He is, I think, the ability to play more of that receiver-esque. You think about like a Darren Waller or some of those guys that are more like receivers playing tight end, athleticism. He's 6'4" as well. And I think that he has the ability to go up and make those contested catches, 36-inch vertical jump. He has I think that it factor that Lamar Jackson looks for in a guy. He can throw those high catch radius passes. He can throw those contested catches to Likely. He can use them on third down. They can use him in the red zone to catch passes. And the same thing with Kolar. I just think Likely is the better athlete out of the two. And I think Kolar is more of the polished product ready to go right now. Likely is probably more of a raw prospect with a high ceiling. You could probably see some plays in the preseason or in the regular season where Likely makes some one-handed catches or some spectacular contested juggling, jumping catches over people, mossing people, and then he may drop an easy 5-yard dump off, and you'll be like, damn, come on, man, you got to make the easy ones. You can make the spectacular ones, but not the easy ones. And I think that's something that have come with more repetitions at the NFL level. Cole is a guy, I think, who is more sound fundamentally right now and is probably ready to make more of an immediate impact, but I think Likely has the higher ceiling out of the two, and I think Kolar is more of the finished prospect right now, but I think both will continue to get better. And I think playing with a Mark Andrews, playing with a Nick Boyle, playing with some of the other veterans on his team, they will only get better as you go through training camp. And I'm intrigued to watch these two in the preseason to see if they flash and jump off my screen and see how they look as well. And I think both can help this team immediately this season. I think we know Lamar likes to throw to the tight end more than anybody else, and I think Kolar Likely, he has fun with the rookies. I think he likes these two guys. He knows about Boyle. He knows what Andrews does, an all-world, all-pro caliber tight end. So I'm excited to see what the tight end group can bring, because what we lack at receiver, they make up for in tight end. And I think the Ravens undergrad run with the offense they run will be more 2019-esque, and we'll see more of the same when it comes to using the tight ends, using two tight ends to set up the run, using two tight ends to set up the play action, using two tight ends in the red zone on third down, short yardage, using the two tight ends as extra blockers as well. But I'm expecting another year Mark Andrews. I don't know if he'll get 1,000 yards again, just because he will have, I think, more assistance and help at the receiver position possibly and at the tight end position. But I do think we'll see more of the same. Another Pro Bowl season from Mark Andrews. I think we'll see some sort of a bounce back season from Nick Boyle, maybe his last with the Ravens. And I think Kolar Likely will find their niche and find their spots on this team as they can. And I think there will be potential for them to make plays, especially in the red zone and in one-on-one passing situations down the field. And they can be moved inside and outside, as they are both versatile and can be used as receivers as well in today's NFL. But let me know down in the comments, guys, what you think about the tight end group for the Baltimore Ravens. What are you looking forward to seeing? Will Mark Andrews get another 1,000-yard season? Will Nick Boyle bounce back and have some type of contribution to this team outside of one catch? Will he just come back to being the stalwart blocker that he is? Kolar Likely, the two rookies in the fourth round. What are you expecting from them? Will they be big-time targets for Lamar Jackson? Will they get better as the season goes on and continue to make their impact? Like I said, I think this tight end group has depth, and I think they can be successful. And I like the future of Kolar Likely, and I do think we'll get something more out of Boyle than we got last season. And Mark Andrews, man, he works hard. He's a leader. He defends his quarterback. There's nothing more you can ask from this guy. As I mentioned, he's underpaid. He's overplaying his contract. Glad he's here to stay with the Ravens flop for many years to come. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that bell for all notifications. Let me know your thoughts on the Ravens tight end room. And of course, comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the bell. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Follow us at the Flex Zone 1 and the Flex Zone Podcast on all social media platforms. And God's favorite host, y'all. Until next time, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.